Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dion and today we are doing a video that y'all have requested, which is an autumn starter pack. Okay, so this is the second time I've tried to film this video. The first time I was like going really in depth with each category and it ended up just being like for only the book and movie portion, I ended up having 40 minutes of footage. So I had to sort of redo the video, dial it back, and I'm doing like my top 5 in each category. So it's kind of like a favorites, kind of a starter pack. Like these are the things that I go back to year after year. These are the things that I reach for. These are the things that like give me those little glimmers. So if you love autumn as much as I do, then definitely subscribe to this channel because I post videos every Thursday. And with that, let's get into it. So we're gonna start off with the easy stuff, the media. This is like the movies, music, TV shows that I go back to year after year. These are the things that like make me so excited for autumn. Like they just give me that autumn feeling. One of them is Red Taylor's version. I don't have to explain, I talk about this all the time. It's the perfect autumn album, but even before Taylor's version, Red was my favorite album. It's just like, it just feels like driving with my friend Jenny and her blue Camaro, my junior year of high school, getting Starbucks pumpkin spice lattes and peppermint mochas, listening to the album with the windows down as soon as it came out, and talking about like which songs that we related to most. Hers was I Almost Do. She's like, that's literally my life. I'm like, damn, Jenny, you're going through it. Even just hearing the opening drums of State of Grace, I'm just like transported to autumn in 2012 and I love it. The second thing, also very obvious, Hocus Pocus. I did see the second one, great. I think part of what made that movie so magical were those actors. Also, I love the way that cameras used to film in, like, I sound so weird. Any movies before, I guess, like advanced cameras and CGI, like before 2000, I feel like I just love the way it looks on screen, like the way Disney Channel original movies looked. There's something about it. So I will always, every single year, my entire life, I don't think there's ever been an autumn that I didn't watch Hocus Pocus. Like that is just an automatic trigger that I do. Like there's no doubt, I gotta do it. Another thing that I gotta do is restart Gossip Girl. I usually like restart Gossip Girl at the beginning of September or whenever it feels autumnal, and then it slowly sort of like throughout the winter, and then by, I don't know, sometimes I just phase out of it, and it's always around like the end of season 3, maybe middle of season 4, that kind of area. And season 3 is the absolute worst season. I should probably just like skip it, but there's just some such iconic moments that whatever. Okay, if you're not into Gossip Girl, you don't know, but if you're not into Gossip Girl, you should be because it's amazing. Another thing, this is more in the recent, maybe like 3-ish years, but is a movie Scream. I used to be such a scaredy cat when it comes to scary movies, and I am pushing myself more and more to appreciate them because I do feel like horror movies are part of like pop culture and whatever, and I love Halloween-y things, and Scream is just the perfect film. You guys know, if you've been on this channel before, you know how I feel about Neve Campbell. I think she's probably the most beautiful, like I'm in love with her. She's the most beautiful woman ever. I worship Neve Campbell. I watched it for the first time in college, but I couldn't get through it. But I watched it maybe like 2019, 2020 for the first time again, and then I like understood. Love it. And the last one, obviously no doubt, it's Halloween Town. I have it on my Apple TV, like I bought it on iTunes because I'm that person, and it's great. I get it. I don't think I've ever had an October in my entire life and an autumn in my entire life where I don't watch Halloween Town. It's just perfect. The next things I'm gonna talk about are food and drinks in this autumn starter pack. Obviously a pumpkin spice latte. I love them. I don't wanna hear it. I love them. Literally got one the other day with a pumpkin bread and a pumpkin muffin from Starbucks. I got triple pumped up. The next thing, apple cider donuts. I will not go in autumn without getting an apple cider donut while going apple picking at an apple orchard. Going forward, apple cider. At said apple orchard, I will be getting a gallon of apple cider and I will drink it like it's water. Love apple cider. Cinnamon buns. I'm not gonna lie, I make a lot of cinnamon buns. I love making cinnamon buns. and cinnamon bready treats are some of my favorite treats out there, but especially like pumpkin cinnamon buns. Oh my God. But in the autumn in general, I love a cinny bun in the autumn time. I just think it is so perfect, pumpkin or not. And then the last thing, the nasty Pillsbury ghost and pumpkin cookies. Those sugar cookies are so nasty. They are actually better raw, in my opinion. I basically don't cook them, or if I do, I get them like kind of warm. I just eat the dough because they're delicious. They're so nostalgic, but like when you bake them, you're like, it's just like sugary. So the next thing is probably what a lot of you guys came for, and these are my autumn starter pack essentials when it comes to clothing. And the first one is cardigans. And this isn't a cardigan, this is a sweater, but I'm throwing it in there because this is what started my cardigan obsession. I got this for $14 at a thrift store. It's hand knit and it's the most gorgeous thing ever. The tag is Alexander Bartlett's for the eagle's eye. Yeah, whatever. And it's like front and back. It's incredible. And ever since I got this sweater, I looked up like more Alexander Bartlett eagle's eye sweaters, and I got a couple other cardigans from them, and I loved them. And then last year, I discovered tight cardigans that you just button in the middle, because I just don't feel cute and sexy in the wintertime, in the fall time sometimes. I just feel, I don't know, maybe it's just the Miami in me. Whatever. So I like having those like open cardigans, but I used to be a cardigan hater like in college, and I'm a cardigan truther now. I love cardigans. Obviously I have my folklore cardigan as well that I love every single autumn. So big fan of cardigans. The next thing I'm calling pajama jeans, and these are jeans that you can truly live in, that are so comfortable. Your favorite jeans, I don't care what style of jeans they are. Like if you are a jegging type of person, if you're a bootcut person, if you're a low-rise person, you do you. My pajama jeans that are the Levi high loose jeans. I got both of these from Poshmark, and I will continue to just buy my Levi high looses from Poshmark because Levi's is kind of a shitty brand, but love these jeans. They are so comfortable and I can spend all season in them. And the reason why I find that pajama jeans, the most comfortable jeans ever, are on an autumn starter pack must have is because this is beginning, if you live in a place that does get cold, of you're going to be wearing pants for the next 6, 7, 8 months, depending on where you live. So it's like, you got to find your jeans that are your go-to. They're nice and light. You love them. You feel good in them, etc. Going from that, I know this is another obvious thing, but trousers, like nice suit trousers, nice pants, but again, focusing on comfort because this is the beginning of wearing pants for a long time. I'm focusing a lot on the bottoms, but because I'm such a cardigan person, I will do like a tank top with a cardigan on top. So I don't really change my base tops because I'm a very sweaty person. Throughout the seasons, like I will still be wearing like tank tops with a cashmere cardigan over it because in the winter, because I get sweaty very easily and I want the ability to strip down. My favorite trousers are from Jerf Avenue. I have the Ash on the Go pants and the oat suit, and just a night, autumn is such an academia type of season, so I feel like trousers are just like the perfect thing to wear, and having just a good pair of trousers that make you feel good, because I'm not a leggings person in general, but I'm human and I will fall into like a leggings rut. And so why I'm like emphasizing comfortable, loose sort of bottoms that aren't leggings or like yoga pants is just sort of like deter that into like the depths of winter when you just no longer care. So highly recommend getting like I just think a nice pair of trousers, like doing more academia inspired looks, things that I gravitate towards in the autumn. Another thing is, this is an autumn essential to me, are closed-toed slip-on shoes. What I mean is loafers, clogs, shoes that you can just slip on and go like you would a flip-flop, that you don't need socks, because I have a dog. I like to go out. I'm notorious for being barefoot. I hate wearing socks, and I reserve wearing like shoes and socks until the winter when like you absolutely have to wear boots and socks. It's very overstimulating for me. So in the autumn, I absolutely have to have clogs. I have these from Bourne's, and I also just got these Birkenstock Bostons. Still breaking them in. They kind of rub my arch right now, but I do think they're really cute, and like I love the baby pink color. And then I have these loafers that I wear to death in the autumn, and they're just essential because I still want that flip-flop feeling of like being able to slip on shoes and go and not have to wear socks. But as it's getting colder or muddier or rainier, I want something that maybe is closed-toed as well, but not something that is like a hassle to put on or like that requires socks. So closed-toed slip-on shoes, aka clogs and loafers, are absolutely part of this autumn starter pack. The last thing are these plaid mini or maxi skirts. I have two, maybe three. Two are from Eddie Bauer. I thrifted them both at different times, but they are wool, like midi-ish maxi skirts. They kind of go to my shin. And I love these for the fall and winter. And they're like the first autumn piece that I'll bring out because I can wear them with like a tiny little crop top and then have the skirt. So it's like if it's still like 70 degrees and I'm like, I want it to be autumn, I can wear the wool skirt and then just do like a little crop top and slip on shoes. And it's like autumnal without me overheating and like wearing a sweater. In the winter, I can put like thermals underneath them, and then it's like thermals with a wool blanket on top, and it's the best. And it's just like comfortable, and you're technically wearing leggings, but the outside world sees that you're wearing a maxi skirt. And then if you have boots underneath it, no one can see. And that's nice because again, the winter, you just get so bored with your fashion. I've had these skirts since like 2020, and I reach for them every single year. All these clothes I just showed you, like I've had in my closet for multiple years, and I can tell you right now, these are my essentials for autumn. All right, now we are moving on to books. So first, I'm gonna give you guys 5 books that I recommend to get you into the autumn spirit that just made me feel so autumnal. I always go through a spooky book phase all through September, October, November, sometimes even December. And so these are books that I definitely recommend. And then I'll show you guys my TBR, my to be read of books that are on my list for this autumn. The first book is The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. I read this book last year and it just blew my mind. It is so good. The twists are so good. It's like modern, but it takes place in a like more puritanical society, kind of like Mormon-ish vibes. It's so good. I don't want to give too much away. And it's everything you want. It's like Salem-esque village. It's witches. It's religious overtones. It's like people of color and racial tensions. It's like queer relationships. It's great. Highly recommend. Also, that one I would say is like a 6 out of 10 scary. It's like, you know, spooky themes, but it's not like a horror book, I would say. This next book is a horror book. It scared the crap out of me. And if you listen to it on audiobook, you will like actually, I had to turn down the volume in my car because I was getting scared. And that is And the Trees Came In by Dawn Kurtagich. It's amazing. It's like a nature horror, which is like so unique, and especially in the era of climate disasters, is like especially scary. I will say the twist at the end, I was sort of like, what? Okay. But it made up for the fact it was so scary, and it, like, I guess it did take me off guard. I don't want to say any more because I feel like if I say any more, people are going to guess what the ending is. So I don't want to say any more, but it was terrifying. It's so good. I might reread it this year because it was just amazing. The next one, I'm cheating. It's Dracula by Bram Stoker and Dracul by Decor Stoker. So Decor Stoker is the great-grandson or the grandson of Bram Stoker, who wrote the original Dracula. And so Dracul, his book, is sort of like supplemental information of Bram Stoker's life while he was writing Dracula, and it sort of like proves that vampires are real, which like I love any book that is about vampires being real. As much as I loved Dracula, the original by Bram Stoker, it's like, you know, it's an old-timey gothic novel and it's a long one, so like whatever. I found that Dracul was a little bit easier to get through. Maybe it's just because I was so excited off the heels of Dracula that I wanted to read this, but I do recommend reading both of them. I feel like you won't be as satisfied. You'll love Dracula more if you read Dracul as well, in my opinion. So I feel like they have to go in tandem. And those I would say are creepy, not scary, you know. I would say like maybe a 5 out of 10. It's just like nice spooky themes. This next one, it's funny because it is a middle grade novel, meaning it's for tweens and such, by Lindsay Curie. It's called Scritch Scratch. And it was kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was kind of scary. Basically, this little girl, or not little girl, but this like 7th grader, I think, her dad is a ghost tour guide, and she's just like, Dad, this is so stupid. Like, ghosts aren't real, and of course spooky things start happening, but like I thought it was creepy. I'm gonna give it like a 6.5, maybe 7 out of 10. And I know you guys are like, so Dracula's a 4, but this is whatever. I find that middle grade books sometimes really get you, gal. I am considering reading the entire Goosebumps anthology this season. And the last one is something that I didn't read during autumn, but I actually read, well, maybe I did read it. I read during the Midnights era, whenever Midnights came out. Was that autumn of last year? And that's Survive the Night by Riley Sager. I've read Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, and I thought it was okay. This really freaked me out. It kept me on the edge of my seat. There was good twists and turns. I definitely recommend this book. If you haven't read anything by Riley Sager before, I would say this should be your first one. Okay. So now we're gonna get into my TBR, my to be read. So typically I will check out books from the library in like an e-reader or physically or through audiobook, but I do have some books that I did buy secondhand right here that I'm excited to share with you. So the first one is A Poem for Every Autumn Day, which is a collection of poems edited by Ali Asiri. I started this last year, but I don't think I got it until mid-September. So this year, I really want to be diligent. I'm gonna leave it outside on my little cafe table where I have my coffee every morning, and really try to be diligent about actually reading a poem for every autumn day. I think it'll just start my day so right. The next one, so I recently got into cozy mysteries, specifically the Cottage Tales series by Susan Albert Wicking. I'm obsessed. I could do a whole video just on that, but we're gonna move on. So because I've gotten into the cozy mysteries genre, which if you haven't gotten into cozy mysteries, let me just tell you, you're in for a great ride. I honestly, my sweater matches these covers that I'm about to show you. So this first one is Death by Pumpkin Spice. I mean, need I say more? It's part of the Bookstore Cafe mystery series. I read, I think, the first couple chapters, and essentially a crime happens at a Halloween party or like a harvest party or something, and you know, here we go. All that jazz. So excited to read this. I'm also very in love right now with these sort of pocket-sized books that are about like 300 pages, but the font's kind of big, and they're just like the perfect like purse book, if that makes sense. Like I can just like throw it in my tote bag, and if I have a second like at work or on the train or wherever, I can read it. Recently discovered that I can read on a train. I cannot read in cars, and I can't really read on planes, but for some reason on trains I can. I don't know, whatever. Very excited to read this, and this is by Alex Erickson. The next cozy mystery is something that my boyfriend found, and it is The Legend of Sleepy Harlow. This covers a little bit more cheeseball to me. I feel like this one is a little bit more tasteful, like whatever. This is definitely a little bit more cheeseball. Again, tell me I don't actually match these covers. That's why I love them. This is by Kylie Logan, the author of A Tale of Two Biddies. This is a League of Literary Ladies mystery. Looks like the Literary Ladies Book Club decided to read Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and the little town that they live in has another little spooky story, a Prohibition bootlegger named Sleepy Harlow. So here we go. That's the great setup. Very excited. Love those cozy mysteries. I don't care. Whatever. The next book that is on my TBR is Teeth in the Mist by Dawn Kurtagich, because I want to poop my pants while reading again. I started to read this on the plane when I went to France in May, but I kept falling asleep and I was just like, you know what? Let me save it. So I want to restart it because Dawn, I mean, if it's anything like And the Trees Came In, I'm gonna have nightmares and not be able to read it in the nighttime. And the next book is gonna be My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I love the look of the cover. I'm probably just gonna check these guys out from the library. I tried to read Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix and I did not like it. I didn't get through it, so I'm gonna try this one. And let's see, because I didn't like Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, but I love Survive the Night. So sometimes it just hits different. And that is gonna be it for my book section of my autumn starter pack. Okay, so the next part and the final part of my autumn starter pack is decor. These are the things that I bring out every single year in August when I want to feel autumnal. One of them is amber string lights. So I discovered this through just having like pumpkin string lights, and I loved the orange color because it kind of looks like your room is like lit up by like a fire glow, and it's just really beautiful and even softer than classic like white yellow string lights. And then I got these string lights from Michaels called Autumn Leaves, I believe, something like that. Not these, actually, ironically. And it's like an orange, red, and yellow bulbed string of lights, and those are beautiful. And I just think they just add such a nice touch. I have them around my bed, I have them around my TV, and I have more as we get more and more into the cozy season. So definitely recommend. They are a sleeper hit. I didn't think I was gonna love them as much, but I literally love them year round. I keep them up through like springtime because when it's so dark, it's just nice to have more of an orangey glow, a sunsetty glow rather than like fluorescence. The next thing is autumnal bedding. So I had these little autumnal pillows that I got from Christmas Tree Shop, which is just like a discount store in the Northeast. But I recently decided that I was going to venture into dyeing this duvet cover from IKEA that I literally got during the Obama administration. That's how old it is. And it was already from IKEA, so you know it was under like $20. And then these two pillowcases that my mom thrifted, they were $4 for the set. And I got some dye from Michaels. I got scarlet, tangerine, and brown, dark brown, and I wanted to create this like rusty color, nothing too bright, nothing too dark, whatever. I wanted something muted, like truly like an autumn leaf, because I already had these yellow sheets and I love it. And then I knitted this giant, what I call my moss blanket, last year, so it just looks like my bed is a giant pumpkin, and I get it. I get why people switch out their bedding. I just like was like, this is such a, you know, as a non-consumer, I'm like, this is such a waste of resources to have bedding that you switch out with every season. But I still wanted it because I love the autumn, so I was like, this is a loophole for me because I'm using what I already have. I'm just like making it autumnal. So that was exciting. The next thing is no surprise, but it's autumnal florals or autumn picks or whatever. Usually get these from Michaels. I'm very anti-consumer until it comes to autumn, and then I just allow myself to be a geek. I allow myself to wear geeky sweaters. I allow myself to spend money on plastic shit from Michaels, and I don't want to hear it. Obviously have these leaves, but I've been kind of collecting autumn floral things since college. I still have like a string of maple leaves that I got from the dollar store in Asheville in college. I graduated in 2018, and every year I allow myself to spend a little bit of money at Michaels to get a couple of new things, because otherwise I try to use what I have or upcycle crafts for autumn. And I always just get a couple of little floral picks, and eventually you just accumulate a lot of them that you can mix and match. My friend Maria made this beautiful wreath out of some picks that we got, and I have them around my bed. I have them just like placed in different places. I feel like it just starts to bring in those like orangey colors, those cozy colors. I like them. I'm not a fake flowers person in general, but I do love it in the autumn time. The next thing is just like bringing out, I love like repeat decorations. So sometimes I do buy like one or two choice decorations every year for autumn because I like to treat myself. Again, this is my one hyper consumer time of year. Not even Christmas am I this bad. Like I said, I do like to upcycle. So a lot of Halloween and autumnal decorations that I have were from my aunt or were from my boyfriend's family who moved from Connecticut down to South Carolina, so they got rid of a bunch of stuff, or are things that I upcycled from thrifted things or crafted. So I like bringing out those things year after year. This is actually from the 70s, and it was my aunt's. She's like, I know you love vintage Halloween stuff. So it's just a little pumpkin sign. It's adorable. It's made out of like plastic. But I love it, and it reminds me of my aunt, and it makes me very, very happy. This was part of an autumnal crafts decoration video that I did. I made a pumpkin out of, this is all like thrifted fabric that I cut up and sewed into, and then I used stuffing from my dog's ripped up toys as the stuffing, and have a little stem. And I have a couple of these, you know, they were like my first craft that I did, and I dyed them using like spices like turmeric and coffee and stuff like that. So it's all hand done. Didn't buy anything for this. It's just stuff that I had in my house, and I'm very proud of myself, and I love this little guy. This is something that I got last year. It is a Halloween countdown. I got it from Michael's, whatever, shut up. Right now, there's 63 days until Halloween, and it makes me so happy. I just love this little thing. I have a Hocus Pocus sign to match it. I could do a whole separate video on just my Halloween decor, and maybe I will. But yeah, this is another thing that I like to bring out year after year that has now become part of my autumn favorites, autumn starter pack. And like I said, I like to treat myself every year to a couple of new little decorations. Not too much. I don't like to redo everything, but just to add slowly over time my little Halloween stash. And this year Michael got these little woodland creatures. Okay, first of all, we have this bunny that is dressed up like a witch with a sequined cape. I mean, obsessed. And oh my god, just like a pumpkin, also going trick-or-treating. He's a little fox, little pumpkin fox. They had so many, I was like, do I spend $200 on little figurines? And maybe, but absolutely love these. So, you know, something old, something new, something borrowed. And the last home autumn starter pack essential is, no surprise, obviously it's candles. My preferred candle shops are Mythology Candles, which is a small women-owned business. It's all soy wax or maybe coconut wax, I can't remember. And they do it like literally out of their house. It's amazing, so creative. The packaging is insane. It is just like, mwah. And the other one is Bath & Body Works, which is not a sustainable company and owned by a big corporation, but I don't care. I go to Bath & Body Works once a year. It's when their autumn candles come out. I drop too much money on wallflowers and little candles, and I move on with my life. I'm gonna tell you guys some of my favorite scents within those two candle companies. One of them is Sweater Weather from Bath & Body Works. There's not a season that goes by that I don't get Sweater Weather in either a wallflower or in a candle. It is an essential, it's non-negotiable. I'm moving on. Other scent I love from Bath & Body Works is just called Autumn. This year it came in like a green wallflower, and it's crisp, it's appley a little bit. I really, really like it. It does smell like an autumn day. It's very just fresh. It's not like too warm like a lot of autumn scents are, which is what I like about it. Same with Sweater Weather. It has like a minty fresh undertone, so it's perfect for like beginning of autumn in my opinion. And the last candle is one that I got this year and I absolutely love it. It's called Pumpkin Carving. I mean, they popped off with the packaging. That is amazing. It smells like a pumpkin bread, maybe a little bit apple cidery. It's great. It's cinnamony. It's delicious, especially when it burns. I was burning it the other day when I was reading my Cozy Mysteries, and I was like, damn, what is this again? And I looked pumpkin carving. I was like, this is something I will be repeating. And then these are my top 5 candle scents. So we have 3 from BBW, and we have 2 from Mythology Candles. One is actually from their Cottagecore collection, which was a spring collection. It's called Afternoon Tea. I have 1 burning and 1 in the box still because I stocked up when they restocked, because it's one of my favorite candle scents of all time. Mythology Candles like has the most unique scents. Look at this packaging. It's insane. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And this obviously is supposed to smell like afternoon tea. Let me read you like the descriptions that they write. Crumbling fresh herbs between hard-working fingers. Loose leaf tea is set into the teapot as the kettle sings that it is ready. A wrought iron chair and an old book sit welcoming on the sun-warmed patio. Notes of English tea leaves and refreshing citrus swirled with a dash of white cane sugar. It reads like one of my aesthetic intros, and I'm obsessed with this, which is why I bought 2 of them. My other one they currently don't have, which is I'm upset because a lot of their scents are limited edition, but it is Gothic Cathedral. It is one of the first scents I ever got from them because I got one of their variety packs, and it smells like a Gothic cathedral. It smells musty, it smells leathery, it smells like incense, it smells like oils, it smells like books. It's amazing. It smells like oppression. No, I'm kidding. It is just like such a great scent. So those are my top 5 scents for this fall. Sweater weather, pumpkin carving, and autumn from Bath & Body Works, afternoon tea, and Gothic Cathedral from Mythology Candles. Love, love, love. And with that is the end of my autumn starter pack video. It was so hard to cut it this short. If you're like, man, this girl's been talking for a while. I talked for 40 minutes just on books and movies. I could go into further detail, and I will go into further detail. Really, I could talk about autumn for years and years. So give this video a thumbs up if you love autumn and autumnal videos, and let me know down below what kind of autumn videos you want me to film in the future, what kind of autumn outfit videos or aesthetic videos, etc. Love hearing what you have to say, and make sure you subscribe to this channel because I post videos every Thursday. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Dion the Taurus, and with that, have a happy day. Bye.